play that thing where we can hear it?
Mom, I have to practice or I'll never sound good.
You'll never sound good because you're playing a bagpipe.
I have an announcement. The Barn Theater in New Jersey is ours if we want it.
We're not moving to New Jersey.
That's actually a good theater.
Ed going to offer us a 5-year contract.
Wait, what if we don't do enough business at the barn?
Well, then we're screwed.
I vote no, okay? I have a girlfriend. Les, how do you vote?
Okay, then.
Goodbye, Akron. I will not be back.
This could be the biggest mistake we've ever made.
I hate this school. No one gets me.
Hey, how come you never play sports after school?
I work at my parents' theater.
Come on, the show was great.
Yeah, but the house wasn't.
Where was the audience?
Theater, it's all right, except it's not real.
Real is so overrated.
You're about to lose everything.
You know, it would be nice if just once you showed a little faith in me.
I will make this work.
I promise. Can you imagine your mother's face when the money comes in? Wow. I wish I knew how to do it.
He will.
Good things are coming, boys. I can feel it in my bones.
Maybe that's arthritis.
Are you popular in middle school?
5 people are popular in middle school.
I'm not doing any more musicals. You don't even pay me.
Well, you're not very good.
You have to dream things into happening.
You're either all in or you're not.
You are who you are. That's it.
Things change on a dime in show business. Go. Good night.
So stop talking. You don't always get to have the last word, you know.
You're right.
Then stop talking.
I am.
I mean it.
Sweet dreams.
I knew you were going to do that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Heather Hurt with the NRW, where nerds rule the world. And I'm here with John S. Baird, who is the director. And I guess Captain America is joining us today, though I'm sure he gets that joke all the time. Stephen.
Well, I mean, Steve Rogers is Captain America when he's a 99-pound weakling.
Yeah.
Captain America is the superhero. But fortunately, I'm a mere mortal.
The director and writer for Everything's Going to Be Great, arriving on June 20th in the U.S. to theaters, but premiering today. How are y'all feeling with that coming up?
Hopeful. Excited. Very excited. We filmed the movie about 2 years ago, so it's nice to finally be able to talk about it.
It's wonderful. The movie was a lot of fun. Stephen, I want to talk to you first about this movie as where it started from, because this kind of feels like a love letter to dreamers who kind of hang out in the theater as kids, and they just want to be that Broadway star. So tell me, where did this movie begin? Where was your mindset when you were first writing this?
I had written a movie called I, Tanya, which was a true story. And then after that, I was only offered true stories. But I didn't particularly like any of them. And I thought, well, why don't I write one based on the way that I was raised? My dad produced regional theater, and I was in a play before I ever even saw a play. And so that was really my background. And I hadn't seen that in a movie before. And I thought it was kind of an original background for a movie. And then thematically, the jumping off point for anything I write is, what's the point of it? What are you trying to say? And so it got me thinking about not just my childhood, but about the way that I grew up and being in the theater and what that gave me, and being a kid who was very weird, like we all were, you know. But I was very lucky to be raised in this very hopeful environment, even though there was a lot of instability and uncertainty, you know, every day. It was very hopeful. And I have to say, it didn't go away. That's still very ingrained in who I am. So I wanted to write about that.
That's wonderful. I always say it that you're once a theater kid, always a theater kid, kind of like the Marines. You're always in that mindset.
I like that, because I haven't heard the theater kids and Marines are the same.
Um, John, shifting over to your filmography, you've done period pieces, and I hate saying that the '80s was period, but now we're talking about it that way. You've done several period pieces. What was different about Everything's Going to Be Great compared to a film like Tetris or any of the others that you've done?
Was funny enough to Tetris was pretty much the same year as Everything's Going to Be Great. Yeah, 1988. However, most of it set in the Soviet Union, so a very different sort of aesthetic to it, and a different kind of movie. I first came to the US to visit as a 16-year-old in 1988. So I would have been about the same age as Jack Champion's character Derrick was back then. So I remember the styles, and I remember what small town America was like at that point, because we didn't go to Disneyland or LA or anything like that. We went to West Virginia. That was basically where we went on holiday, which was an incredible, really, looking back on it.
It's a brochure.
It was an amazing experience, really, as a kid from Scotland going over there. So, but this film really is probably my favorite that I've ever worked on. Mainly because of everybody involved. I mean, obviously Stevens wrote a brilliant script, and we were blessed to have incredible actors like, Brian, Allison and Chris Cooper, along with the two young ones, Jack and Ben. But the whole experience for me, I look back so fondly on it. We shot the film in Canada, and it was sometimes when you do a movie, it feels, or a TV show, it feels like a bit of a, I don't know, what's the best way to say it? It feels like a job. This didn't feel like a job at all. This was because I wanted to be involved in musical theatre as a kid. So this was a very easy one for me to do. It was really hard to get made, Stephen, am I right? Yeah. Nobody wanted to finance it. But eventually we got there, and it really was a fabulous experience. So in terms of the time period, yeah, I remember that time period really well in the late 80s. So it wasn't a big challenge in that respect.
Most people remember the '80s fondly. It was a pretty good time.
It was amazing. It was the best time. You remember the '80s, Stephen?
Yeah.
A couple of decades ago, unfortunately. Now it feels like it's getting longer and longer.
You were doing it wrong.
Stephen, with this, there's a lot of elements of the background part of being of living not only as a child that moves around, but as one who as the backdrop to just working parents. Why was the dynamic of Macy and Buddy so important for this film? Why did y'all have to say it from, even though this was so much of Les's story, why was their tale so integral to this for you?
Honestly, I was sort of writing about what was going on when I was growing up. And so I just sort of drew on that. My mom was a civilian, she wasn't in the business at all. And then I was certainly like the ham in the sandwich, and my dad was a very big dreamer. I mean, part of this movie is that you have to dream things into happening, and that's not just
that's a line in the film.
I know. I love when I quote myself. But you do have to do that, not just in theater or show business, but I mean, if you're starting a business, if you're running for office, or if you're starting a profession, it's like you have to dream that into happening. And so Buddy, Bryan Cranston's character, is a big dreamer. And then, Allison was sort of left alone and had to be the sort of practical one and the civilian. And right away, there's conflict in that.
It's very, and it's also, I want to say, this so late '80s, early '90s to talk about the division of parents. That's when you got that, the divorcee period just truly began. So felt it deep in my soul. A lot of this movie, I just resonated with me as a theater kid.
Yeah, and that's what I love about the theater, is that you have these underpaid, overly dramatic people. And when I was like, oh, I'm home. These are my people,
Great. It's great to be queer in the theater space. Just going to say that. Great to be queer in the theater space. John, there's a lot of Buddy's character is so dynamic, but is also very simple. What were you looking for him to be? Bryan Cranston's such an incredible actor. How did you turn him into someone that's kind of just that dad who has a dream? How did you direct that?
It's very much there on the page, and some parts had to be directed probably more than others. I think because the whole mantra of the film, that Stephen has written, everything's going to be great, and Buddy actually says it in the, says it to the kids in a car scene in the film, and really coming from there, the eternal optimist, and really the audience knowing, well, things aren't actually going to be great. It's how we respond from tragedy. But Bryan is such a consummate sort of professional, and he's a filmmaker, and he brings so much to it in terms of the look. I mean, it's his idea to have the moustache with it with sort of curled up, and he thinks so deeply about these things. So Bryan didn't take up a massive amount of direction, and Stevens. I'm totally underselling myself here. Stevens was so good, it was a very nice job to have as a director, working with these people, I have to say.
So what I'm hearing is that you just got to coast through this entire film. You just enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, I never did much at all. I just looked at the pages and said, guys, read these words and put the camera there, and that was it. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Everything's going to be great. Arrives at Tribeca Festival today, June 9th, and it has the national US release on June 20th. Thank you guys, and you'll have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Nerds rule the world.
Pleasure chatting with you. Love to all my nerds who rule the world.
Yeah. Nerds rule the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Nerds rule the world. Thank you.
I love the nerds ruling the world, so more power to you.
Patrick, what up, man? And yes, they do. Nerds rule the world, kid.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Awesome. Kuya P, nerds rule the world. Hello.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Oh,
nerds rule the world.
I got.
It's in the title of your show, like nerds rule the world. Like, I want more black weirdos on screen, and I don't feel like we ever get to see that very much.
Thank you so much. Nerds do rule the world.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Nerds rule.
Love
it. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Julian.
Yes,
rock on. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you. I love Nerds Rule the World.
But yeah, there's a heavy nerd component, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you ask me, nerds rule the world. So
absolutely.
And you're right. Nerds do rule the world.
We're just the best.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's your boy Kuya P. Nerds rule the world. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.
They rule the world, all right.
Yes. Take care, Tony. Thank you, guys.